Hundreds of protesters are gathered in Bangkok, defying new emergency measures. The new decree bans mass gatherings after protests escalated over the past 24 hours. And in a moment, we'll go live to Mae Wong and Saksesa Sambat at opposite ends of Ratchaprasong intersection in Bangkok. But first, a look at the events leading up to this hour.
Thailand woke up to an emergency decree announced by the government overnight. It bans gatherings of 5 or more people. The new rules come a day after an escalation in protests, calling for Prime Minister Prayut Chan-o-cha to step down. The government says it's to prevent further incidents after protesters obstructed the royal motorcade. As the emergency measures kicked in, riot police moved in on protesters camped outside the Prime Minister's office. More than 20 people, including 3 protest leaders, have been arrested.
กลุ่มผู้ชุมนุมนะครับให้มาชุมนุมบริเวณราชประสงค์นะครับในช่วงบ่ายช่วงเย็นนี้นะครับก็มีความชัดเจนอยู่แล้วว่าการชักชวนนั้นก็ถือว่าเป็นความผิดผู้ที่มาร่วมชุมนุมก็จะถือว่าเป็นผู้ที่ทำความผิดด้วยนะครับอยากจะเรียนให้ทราบว่าท่านจะอ้างว่าไม่รู้กฎหมายนะครับไม่รู้ระเบียบไม่รู้คำสั่งไม่รู้ประกาศคงไม่ได้
Protests have been going on for months, calling on the Prime Minister to resign. Demonstrators have also demanded unprecedented reform to the monarchy.
Sakseth joins us now. Sakseth, we'll come to you first. Protesters haven't let the emergency decree stop them from rallying.
Yes, indeed, Steve. It is an unprecedented view that we have right now behind me. The whole of Ratchaprasong intersection in the commercial heart of Bangkok is now being occupied by thousands and thousands of protesters since the afternoon. And yeah, emergency decree or not, these people are not letting that deter them from coming here and to voice their dissent. And they have come here out in force. Now, there are police officers here that are sitting down, they are staying put, as we are seeing right now, and there's no sign of any movement whatsoever in terms of being dispersed or of the police cracking down on them. Now there's a question, why are they doing this? Now they have been coming out for 4 months, and we had 4 big rallies in just as many months coming out to call for vast political changes, including those of the monarchy, which is unprecedented, to call for transparency and also accountability in the palace's dealings and decisions. These things have only been whispered not too long ago, but now they're out in the open with the demands by the protest leaders. And the question is going forward is that how long, how patient will the authorities be in the calls for reforms? Now, at least for this evening here, it looks like we could be in for a second long evening with the protesters occupying Ratchaprasong intersection.
Right, I want to bring Mae into this conversation as well. Mae, you're also there. How do you expect the government to respond to this blatant defiance by protesters?
Blatant defiance is exactly what you're seeing here right now. The protesters are clearly showing the fact that they are not caring about what the government is warning. They are out here, and they're out here for a reason, and they want to make sure that the government is hearing their opinions. Well, clearly the crowd here has grown larger in size. In fact, a lot of the crowd has expanded closer towards me right now, when earlier it was still growing in a sense that the office hours have just ended. And perhaps that's the reason why you see more people coming out. You also see a lot more people perched on the bridges, on the overhead walkways, and that is a clear sign that people are not just out here to watch, but they're also out here to participate, because you hear them chanting terms like "Okpai," that means get out. And specifically, they're asking for Prime Minister Prayut Chan-o-cha to get out of the system and to call for fresh elections. They're also chanting phrases like "our taxes," also alluding to the fact that the government is making use of the people's money to enhance their own particular benefits. But I must point out to you that this scene today is allowed because Prime Minister Prayut Chan-o-cha has allowed it. Since the declaration of the new enhanced state of emergency, he has already warned the people that they have crossed the line, that this actually borders on the fact that they are threatening national security, that they are causing chaos, bringing instability and insecurity to Thailand, and therefore, using the new decree, he will be able to clamp down on them. And when I say clamp down, meaning making more arrests, detaining people for up to 7 days without any charge, and also extending that on a 7-day basis up to a period of 1 month. And yet another clause under this new decree is the fact that he can summon anybody for information, he can search their homes, their buildings, and also tap on phones as well as to find out more information. But more importantly as well, one key clause in this decree is that he can order the army soldiers to come out to reinforce and back up the police officers on the ground. That is something that nobody wants to see, because that could potentially result in very violent clashes, and the outcome will be extremely ugly. At this stage, we have not seen that yet. But please remember the fact that there is this possibility that the government is able to make use of that, simply because if they feel that they need to clamp down and put a lid on the current situation and not allow it to exacerbate, then that is what we're going to see. At this moment, it clearly shows that the people are not heeding the government's warning, and they really want the government to listen and to do something about it.
May Wong and Success Sombat from the streets of Bangkok.